Hello everyone, very good morning and welcome back once again to your favorite channel, that is StudyIQ IS English. I am your educator Praveen Mishra, going to proceed with today's session, that is the Hindu analysis, date being 29th of April 2025, right? So the top news, the top headlines for us today, it is, yes, obviously, the first headline that everyone was expecting. Yesterday itself, India and France, that is we both the nations, that is India and the other one being the France, we have finalized a deal worth rupees 63,000 crores to induct into our navy the Rafale M, that is the marine variant of the Dassault air fighter jet, that is Rafale, right? So obviously, it was around 6 years back, 2019, when India inducted nearly 36 Rafales into the Indian Air Force. Considering the present western as well as eastern border situations from the perspective of India, it is now very, very important for us to enhance or, just to provide more strength to our defense forces. Well, with regard to a report that was given by an organization, that is termed as the Global Firepower. So the report's name was the Global Firepower Report that we witnessed in this year, January. What it has stated, India is into the top 10. Yes, we are into the list of top 10 countries with good advanced state-of-the-art technology equipped weapons, specifically air weapons, from fighter jets to missiles. But yes, the problem is the advancements what our eastern neighbor has been doing, that is China. Here, before entering into the discussion of Rafale M variant and the deals that we had yesterday with the country of France, it's important for us to discuss one point that we term it as J35. Okay. If you are not aware with this name, we need to aware ourselves. J35, full name, J35 Dragon. What is this? Firstly, the features when we talk about, it is presently world's most advanced fighter jet. Most advanced fighter jet. Created by whom? It is obviously created by China. Right? World's most advanced fighter jet created by China. It is 6th generation. What are the features to it? It can, that is J35 Dragon, it can enter the exosphere. It can enter where? It can enter the exosphere, that is outer space basically, and from there re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. Re-enter Earth's atmosphere. Right? That means J35 Dragon, it looks like a particular, fighter jet or a weapon shown in the sci-fi movies of Hollywood, right? A particular jet taking off from the surface of the Earth, entering the outer space, then re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, right? What we have seen in movies of Marvel or DC Comics, something like that. China has made it to the reality, right? Simply speaking, this particular capability of J35 Dragon, not yet proven, I must quote here, not yet proven, not yet justified. But since it can enter, it has the ability to enter the exosphere, that means it can also destroy or disturb the lower Earth orbit satellites, right? The satellites that are into the LEO, that is LEO, lower Earth orbit satellites, can be disturbed or destroyed by this J35 Dragon. But yet, So far, I must quote it here, do not get confused or misguided. It is not yet proven. Just what we have analyzed, since it is having the ability to enter exosphere. Not yet China has justified this thing, that whether it has developed any sort of a weapon that could be used in the outer space. Not yet. Okay, as we know, space has no air, there is no vacuum, right? So for any weapon like missile or a laser gun or a something like that, needs a very strong force, a strong energy which is possessing, okay, kind of the, terming the cruise missile thing, okay, which is having its own engine, its own jet, its own fuel. Okay, not yet it has been justified by China that it has developed something like that. But yes, one thing that China has represented and explained, or simply speaking exclaimed to this whole world, that is the J35 Dragon can enter the exosphere. Okay, and now it's a threat not just to the Indian country, but to the whole globe. Okay, specifically adversaries of China, from America to us. Okay, it is a threat. And the bigger problem, okay, another bigger problem is the relationship, the kind of relationship actually China and Pakistan they are having these days. Okay, what is that? As per the reports, okay, as per the reports simply, okay, around 40 J35 Dragon 40, that is 40 J35 Dragon, China is giving to Pakistan. As per their deal, 40 J35 Dragons, they will be inducted into the Pakistani Air Force in next 2 years, that is by 2026. Okay, and right now around 60 Pakistani Air Force, 60 Pakistani pilots as of now, they are undergoing training inside China to operate and fly the J35 Dragon. Okay, this is what the statement from Pakistani authorities have been. Okay, this is alarming, this is threatening, this is a big trouble. Okay, and here are the features again. Remember, it is the 6th generation fighter aircraft. One more thing, it is having the stealth technology. Equipped with what? Stealth, as in it can dodge or it can manipulate the radar systems as well. Right, now think about it. A particular fighter jet entering from the outer space, equipped with stealth technology. Do we have that upgraded radar systems to catch such type of an aerial vehicle, manned or unmanned whatsoever? As of now, yes, we must admit it that we don't have. So the so-called people, okay, those who are saying that why Indian government is spending 3,000 crore rupees now, what is the need of Rafale M? Please explain them. This is the need, okay? Or else in the case of war or conflagration, in case of conflict, okay, how are we going to deal with, right? So now coming back to the news. Okay, you might have now understood the importance of J35 or importance of even our Rafale M. Okay, and why Indian government is investing much of the amount, the basic need here. Okay, so 63,000 crores, even they are less. As you know what, presently, okay, 26 Rafale M's have been inducted and we need more of them, because as per the global firepower report, okay, once again, considering the global firepower report, you can just access the web and can check it. Okay, as per written, okay, as per the global firepower report, if India is having 10, okay, or let's consider it, okay, if in case India is having X fighter jets, okay, if India is having X fighter jets, then For China, this data goes to 10 to 15x fighter jets. 10 times more of the fighter jets presently, as per the official records, right, China is having. And going ahead with the aircraft carriers, going ahead with submarines, or even the drones or missiles, etc. That is total ammunition, total arms and ammunition, okay, in each and every dimension of the defense machinery of China. It is having more of, literally, more of the advanced equipments as well as ammunition in its army, navy, air force, etc. Yes, no doubt, Indian soldiers, they are more brave, more powerful, having more strength as compared to those Chinese ones. But the fact here is that we must not ignore. The war is not only won with brave emotions and the body strength. War is also won with the state-of-the-art technology, as well as the quantity of the weapons. And unfortunately, as of now, presently, that is 29th of April 2025, we are lagging behind the country of China when it comes to the number of arms and ammunition, as well as the other equipments from aerial vehicles to tanks to etc. China is having the upper hand, right? And hence, as a result, such type of news, okay, such type of events, they are important for us, right? Okay, so talking about this particular thing, that is Rafale M or Rafale Marine, okay, what do we need to understand? Firstly, the most prior thing, the variants of Rafale. Variants of Rafale. Okay, what are the basic variants? So we have got the Rafale M presently. M stands for Marine. Marine that can be taken off or landed into an aircraft carrier. Then we have got Rafale C, that is single seater. Okay, Rafale C, that is single seater fighter jet. Then we have got Rafale B. Okay, Rafale B as in dual seats. Okay, 2 seats are here in Rafale B. Okay, so we have got Rafale C, B and M. Okay, Rafale C being the single, B being the dual, okay, and M being the marine. Marine as in that is capable of taking off and landing at the through the platforms of the aircraft carriers. And presently we have inducted Rafale M into 2 of our aircrafts, okay, sorry, aircraft carriers, okay. What are they? So as you can see, INS Vikramaditya as well as INS Vikrant. Okay, so guys, what are these? Okay, INS Vikrant and INS Vikramaditya. INS Vikramaditya as in made with Indian as well as the Russian technology. Whereas when we talk about simply INS Vikrant, okay, totally Indian. Okay, absolutely indigenously built, right? So Rafale M, okay, made by France's company, that is Dassault Aviation, okay, will be used where? For our indigenously built INS Vikrant and the Indian naval ship INS Vikramaditya, built along with the technology of Russia. Okay, so this is what the news is. Okay, and please, to all those people, those who are saying why do we need to invest such hefty amount, we need it. Okay, how Chinese aggression, how Chinese expansionist policies, how the Belt and Road Initiative, the so-called Silk Route, okay, of China is troubling us, we know it very well. And apart from that, the Chinese string of pearls. Okay, if you are not aware with the term Chinese string of pearls, then let's just have a simple discussion over that particular segment as well. Okay, the string of pearls. Okay, see, it is a name that is not given to us by China. Okay, it is a particular phrase that is not given by China. It is a phrase that has been given by the international media to the Chinese expansionist policies, specifically targeting the Silk Route Initiative or the Belt and Road Initiative. Okay, what is this? So, see, this is the Indian Peninsula, right? So here we have got the South China Sea. China has got into the Spratly Islands as well as the Paracel Islands. Some artificial islands. Okay, these are what? Not the original one, but the artificial islands. Apart from that, inside Sri Lanka, okay, here at the southern coast of Sri Lanka, China has built a port that is known as Hambantota. Okay, China has gained the good control over the areas of South China Sea, that is near the 9-dash line. Okay, then here into the not so good state of Pakistan, right? Here at the edges, okay, near crossing the Gulf of Khambat and so on, Pakistan has got a port made by China that is known as Gwadar. Okay, this is what? The Chinese port in Pakistan, or the Pakistani port made by China. Okay, if we move ahead, so in the country of Iran, we have got the Chabahar port. Till 2020, China was not part of Chabahar, but now China has inducted itself successfully into the Iran's Chabahar port. Okay, next, here, okay, moving more west, okay, when we move more west, okay, what we have got? We have got the area, okay, that is known as Gulf of Hormuz, right? And we have got a country here, Djibouti. Here also there is a Chinese base, okay, Chinese base. They are present in Seychelles, into the Indian Ocean. They are present in Maldives. Okay, so from Djibouti to Seychelles to Maldives to Chabahar to Gwadar to Hambantota to South China Sea. Okay, now if we just go ahead towards far east, okay, or towards the far west actually, in Australian continent, okay, above Australia, let's say this is something which Australian continent looks like, something like that. Okay, so here, okay, there is a country that is known as Vanuatu, and in Vanuatu also China is going ahead and establishing the undersea cables, right? So basically China has got a port here as well. Okay, not yet under operation, but yes, Chinese presence is easily visible there, right? So Australia, South China Sea, Southeast Asia, South Asia, Sri Lanka, Gwadar, Pakistan, Chabahar, Iran, Maldives, Seychelles, Djibouti, okay, all of these places, in fact, means talking about the place Horn of Africa. Technically, our peninsula, okay, this peninsula of ours has been totally surrounded by the Chinese ports, though China has made it clear that these ports are just for the sake of commercial purpose, okay, but ultimately these are Chinese ports. Tomorrow, in case of any conflict, war or conflagration, China could use it very easily for its naval purposes as well, right? So this coverage from Australia to Southeast Asia to South Asia, that is crossing the Bay of Bengal region to Arabian Sea, moving towards the Horn of Africa, specifically the country of Djibouti, and towards the south in the Indian Ocean, that is Maldives and Seychelles. These particular dots that are the ports, they are mentioned as what? They are mentioned as the string of pearls of China. And remember one thing, string of pearls, it is a name not given by China. It is a name given by the global media, international media for these Chinese ports, covering the areas from Australia, that is from Vanuatu, to 9-line, that is South China Sea, okay, towards Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean, okay, Malaysia, Maldives, Seychelles, okay, Gwadar, Chabahar, Djibouti, and so on. So this particular dots on the map, which are Chinese ports, these are what? The Chinese string of pearls. The name is given by the international media, not the Chinese government. Okay, that's it. Now, when we talk about the features, okay, of this Rafale M that we have just inducted 24 hours back, okay, what are the features here? So, first of all, it is multi-role, okay, single seat, 4+ generation. See, it is 4+ as in maximum you can consider is 4.5 generation. Okay, maximum what you can consider it as 4.5 generation. Okay, that's it. J35 is what? J35 is 6th generation. Okay, so 4+ generation fighter aircraft with advanced avionics and AESA radar. AESA radar as in that is able to catch, capture or identify the UAVs as well as the incoming missiles. Okay, then capable of deep strikes, air defense, reconnaissance and maritime operations. Obviously, that's why the name marine. Okay, then it is equipped with MICA. What is that? Meteor multi-mission air-to-air missile system. Okay, Meteor. If you were there present in the yesterday's session, okay, there we were discussing about BVR in yesterday's the Hindu analysis, that is beyond visual range missiles. Okay, right? So what is beyond visual range missiles? That are simply having extra range, that is kind of the intercontinental range as well. Okay, so in that particular sense, we have got the MICA. MICA, what is that? Meteor or the multiple, the next one, that is multi-mission air-to-air missile systems. Okay, what is that? Multi-mission air-to-air missile systems, that is MICA. That can, okay, tackle the beyond visual range missile systems as well. Not with ease, obviously it's not going to be the piece of cake, obviously going to be a bit difficult, but yes, ultimately we have got such type of defense system that we call it as what? MICA, that is simply multi-mission air-to-air missile system. Okay, next, it is having scalp missiles and exocet anti-ship weapons. Now the question is, what do we mean by the term scalp missiles and exocet anti-ship weapons? Okay, so guys, we need to discuss this in a very detailed format, in a very detailed manner. So for which today only we shall be having a special session, okay, in a very short span of time after the session has ended, where we shall be discussing the scalp missiles, SCALP, and the exocet, EXOCET, anti-ship weapons. So guys, please stay tuned with the channel. Okay, today only, okay, in a very short span of time, we shall be having a specific session where we shall be discussing the concept of scalp missiles and the exocet anti-ship weapons. Okay, we need to discuss it in detail. They are quite important, first of all, and secondly, there are many minute details as well. Okay, that needs a special focus, a special attention, right? So stay tuned with the channel, guys. I hope you guys have subscribed our channel, that is StudyIQ IS English channel as well. Okay, so next thing, difference from Air Force Rafale. Okay, how are we differentiating the Rafale Air Force variant and the Rafale Marine variant? Okay, so here are some short differences as we can understand. Heavier airframe due to additional reinforcements for naval operations. Okay, Rafale M, it is having bigger wings first of all. Okay, some heavier and bigger wings as compared to the Air Force. What is the problem here? Why it is heavier? So let's understand. Generally, for any aircraft, okay, not just Rafale, for any, okay, generally for any aircraft, a runway, okay, a runway of around 2 to 3 kilometers minimum is required, right? For the commercial flights, for the aircrafts, fighter jets, etc. Okay, a runway ranging between 2 to 3 kilometers is required. But what is the length of the aircraft carrier runway? How do we justify now? Are the aircraft carriers having 2 kilometers of runway? No, absolutely not. Okay, the aircraft carrier, let's say this is what the aircraft carrier which looks like, right? So here is the runway. This runway is just 100 meters approx, plus minus 10-20 meters. Okay, you can say plus minus 10 to 20 meters. So a general aircraft that requires at least 2 to 3 kilometers of runway, the marine variant of any aircraft, okay, can take off or land from just 100 meters of runway. Okay, so the aircraft carriers, they are equipped with some special engines as well as pumps, okay, having a separate type of pistons inducted in themselves, okay, which allows or which actually provides excess amount of heat that provides a push to the aircraft, because of which these aircrafts, they do take they do go ahead and take off, okay, with a good speed, obviously, right? But what are the features specifically that we need to discuss? Okay, that is here the runway, the wings of such aircrafts, okay, they are quite big and heavy as compared to the general aircrafts, okay, specifically the Rafale, okay, Air Force version, it is having a shorter wing, whereas the Rafale Marine version, it is having a longer as well as the heavier wing, right? Next, optimized radar and electronic warfare systems for maritime applications, and yes, enhanced landing capabilities for catapult assisted takeoff barrier arrested recovery, that is in short CATOBAR, and short takeoff barrier arrested recovery, that is in short STOBAR. So what is scalp, what is exocet, what is CATOBAR, what is STOBAR? Okay, we will be having a discussion over this in a very special session, okay, to be on air today only, right? To go on air today only. Please stay tuned, guys. We will be having a session where we will be discussing the scalp missiles, the exocet technology, and yes, what is STOBAR and what is CATOBAR, right? So in short, you have got the full form here, that is catapult assisted takeoff barrier assisted recovery. Then we have got the short takeoff barrier arrested recovery. Okay, so this we shall be discussing quite soon. Okay, here we go to the next news, to the next headline for us today. What is this? Supreme Court declines ED plea to bar Senthilbalaji from holding office. Okay, what is the news? What is the whole scene? Okay, let's discuss the news first of all. Okay, the most important element of the news. So, the Supreme Court on Monday did not entertain a plea by the ED to bar Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam DMK, that is MLA, V. Senthilbalaji from holding any ministerial or other positions of power in Tamil Nadu till the trial in money laundering case linked to cash for jobs scam was completed. Okay, so who petitioned and what? It was the ED, that is Enforcement Directorate. Okay, filed a petition where in front of the Supreme Court, considering the People's Representation Act of 1955. So what is the genesis here? Okay, the PRA, that is People's Representation Act of 1951, as well as they were referring to 55, that is to bar the incumbent MLA from taking any ministry's position, okay, till the time period proceedings are going on, for which, okay, for which Supreme Court has stated no, we cannot do such things, as it will be hampering the working of the legislative assembly. Okay, so there was a scam that is known as cash for vote. Okay, what was the name of the scam? Cash for jobs, actually, not vote, sorry, cash for jobs. Okay, for which Supreme Court, citing the People's Representation Act and so on, and has also stated that what happens if the case continues for 15 years. Okay, for the next 15 years, do you want the legislator, okay, to sit? Well, whether it is justice or not, it is a huge matter of debate, so let's not discuss that. Okay, but yes, as of now, okay, considering the arguments from two sides, okay, so sorry for inconvenience, guys. Okay, so considering the particular petition, okay, and the arguments from both the sides, okay, so who we have got? We have got Kapil Sibal, who was defending the incumbent MLA, and from the government side it was Solicitor General of India, that is Tushar Mehta. Okay, so as we see the arguments, right, what would happen to my client if ED extend the trial by another 15 years? Should he be out of politics for 15 years then? Is it justice? For which Tushar Mehta, that is the government advocate there, that is Solicitor General, if there is no bar on him from assuming any powerful position, the trial into the predicate offences will never be over. Whereas on the other hand, a bar would only work to expedite the trial. Okay, this is what the arguments they have come from. But here we need to understand the position of Solicitor General in India, right? This whole news, it is absolutely based on political lines, so we need not discuss the politics at best, okay? But the position, that is Solicitor General, which is in news continuously, okay, continuously it is in news, right? So here we go. The position of Solicitor General. The first thing that we need to mark, it is a non-constitutional body. Okay, what it is? A non-constitutional body. First thing. What is the constitutional body then? Okay, we have got under Article 76. Okay, what is that? Under Article 76, we have got a constitutional body that we term as the Attorney General of India. What is that? Attorney General of India. Right. What is the work or the role of the Attorney General of India? To be the advocate of Government of India, right? This is what the role of Attorney General is, to be the advocate of Government of India. Do we have any such body for the states? Yes, but before that, let's discuss the role. To represent government, Attorney General, represent government in any court wherever a party is government, okay, to advise on legal matters, considered as the highest law officer of the country, okay, and yes, most important thing, though not part or even though not part or member of Parliament, he or she can take part in proceedings of Parliament. In proceedings of Parliament, obviously without right to vote. Right? So this is what Attorney General of India is empowered. Remember this line. Attorney General of India is nowhere the member, neither the part of the Parliament, but has got absolute authority to take part in the proceedings of Parliament. This is what Attorney General is entitled. Obviously, since not part or member of the Parliament, so he or she will not be given the right to vote, but yes, can take part in the proceedings. Now the next thing, okay, very important guys, as since this position is continuously in news, continuously without even a gap of a day, right? So it becomes important for us to discuss. What is the tenure? Tenure is not fixed. Appointed by whom? Appointed by President. Removal by, once again, President. Simply works on the pleasure of President. Right? So this is what the constitutional position of Attorney General of India, not the Solicitor or the Additional Solicitor Generals. Okay. So though not mentioned in the Constitution, okay, though not mentioned in the Constitution, that is here to assist Attorney General of India. Okay. President, remember who? President can appoint Solicitor General and to assist Solicitor General, okay, President can appoint additional Solicitor Generals, generals. Okay. So remember, who is the constitutional body? It is only and only the Attorney General of India, not the Solicitor General, neither the Additional Solicitor Generals. Okay. To assist Attorney General, President is empowered to appoint a Solicitor General and some other Solicitor General or generals. Minimum to maximum, not fixed. Okay. Now, the variant of the state. Do states have such bodies? Do states have, state governments, do they have such type of bodies to assist them in legal matters? Yes. For states, it is under Article 165 that we term as Advocate General of States, right? So this we have for states, and Article 76 for Union, that is Attorney General of India. 165 Advocate General of States. Remember, the word Attorney General is taken just for the Union. For states, for state governments, we don't have the word Attorney General in place. We have got what? The other name, that is Advocate General of States. Okay. So this is it. Here we go. The next news. UP government launches drive against encroachment on Indo-Nepal border. That is India-Nepal border. Okay. So Nepal, a state which is having the boundaries with India from UP to Bihar. Okay. We have got the borders touching from the locations of Uttarakhand as well. Okay. But here we talk about the India-Nepal border. Okay. And here is the problem. See, the news is not with regard to UP government or, going ahead with the encroachment drive, okay, demolishing the illegal encroachments and so on. No, absolutely not. Okay, whose house has been encroached, okay, whose house was destroyed, destructed, etc., etc. No, this is not a news from our UPSC CSE perspective. Not important. But important is India-Nepal border dispute here that has arisen out of this particular news. Okay, what is the border dispute between the two countries? Okay, here we go. India, Nepal. First thing that I would like to mention here before discussing this Nepal issue. Once upon a time, or you can say by the time period of 2010 something, India and Nepal, they shared a very strong relations. But since the change in the regime, specifically with this particular person, his name is KP Sharma Oli. Okay. Since the time he has gained the throne of the Prime Minister of Nepal, he has shown very much reluctance towards the relationship with India. And he is a pro-Chinese personality. He is having more tilt towards China as compared to India, right? So, because of that, what we have experienced, what we have encountered, that specifically the relations between India and Nepal, they have deteriorated a lot, okay? A decline in the relationship has been witnessed. And the credit goes to the incumbent as well as the previous Nepali governments, right? India has always played the role of big brother into the South Asian region when it comes to the smaller states like Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Maldives, okay, Seychelles into the Indian Ocean region, okay. We have tried our best. We have specifically got the policy that with regard to the international relations, that is neighborhood first. Right, we don't talk about the other countries first, but we talk about our neighbors first. We have got the Look East policy now, which is as the Act East policy, right? So we have tried our level best to provide our neighbors with the best possible support. Specifically, 2015, earthquake destroyed Nepal, decimated Nepal, okay? Tons of people, they lost their lives, properties, etc. Okay, but the problem is with regard to the Nepal's non-grateful, non-thankful activity. Nepal governments, not the people, Nepal governments, non-thankful, non-grateful response. In fact, the Nepali government, it accused Indian forces, that is NDRF, National Disaster Response Force, that they came to Nepal and they, disturbed the situation more. When you are, under the influence of some narcotic substances, okay, psychotropic narcotic substances, you state in such a way. This is reality, okay, this is dark reality, okay. The moment we got to know that Nepal has been hit badly by earthquake, Indian government did not even took a minute to deploy our NDRF and NDRF. What is NDRF and NDRF? One NDRF is National Disaster Response Force. Another is National Disaster Relief Fund. Right. So we sent our forces, our paramilitary forces, to support the country of Nepal and protect the people. And apart from that, we provided funds as well, right, through the Indian NDRF, National Disaster Relief Fund. But in return, what Nepal government stated? No. We were waiting for China. Why did you come? And you came in here and you disturbed the situation. You destroyed the situation even more. You worsened the situation. And we were like, what, man? How can you even state that? Have you lost it? Are you out of your mind? This is what Nepal had to state. Okay. At that time when Indian forces were there, helping the Nepali people only. Right. Roti beti ka rishta. Where it is gone. And then comes the another phase of the Nepali government at the time when they started claiming the disputed area, which was not even disputed area, they had this dispute, and now they were now, because influence, some narcotropic or some psychotropic substances, right, and specifically these substances coming from the other side of the border, that is China, right, ghatiya material, right. So because of that influence, see what they have done. A good relationship, okay, which had no disputes. So there were issues, yes, there are issues everywhere, but such dispute was not arising, okay. This was not yet dispute till 2016, but now it is a dispute, that is the areas of Lipu Lake, Kala Pani and Sasta. As you can see, the three areas, Lipu Lake, Kala Pani and Limpiadhura, that is the areas near Susta. Now, this is Indian area. As you can see, this is all the Indian area. But the problem is, Nepal wants to say, no, 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 it is mine. Are kaise tumhara? How? Itna sa idhar. Okay, this is the territory what they have got there. Okay, and there you are claiming the areas which are strategically important. The point is, these are the areas strategically important. China wants to have a hold over these strategic important areas. So what China is using now? China is using Nepal. Okay, right? So eating, just and blabbering anything won't provide you the logic. So the areas with regard to Lipu Lake, Kala Pani and Limpiadhura, specifically the areas of Susta there, okay, now they are claimed by Nepal that they belong to Nepal. Do they have any logic, any concrete material, any paper evidence to support it? No. What they have mentioned, a treaty which is almost 175 years back, nearly 1860s, the Treaty of Sugauli, that happened between the British Indian government and the then Nepali king, right? Remember, they are referring to what? Treaty of Sugauli, okay, that was signed between the then British Indian government and the then king of Nepal, which even didn't existed when the Simla agreement was signed in the year 1914, okay, not the 1962 one. Okay, no, sorry, 1972 one. Okay, a Simla agreement. Shimla nahi, Simla, S-I-M-L-A. So the Treaty of Sugauli, the areas, the disputed areas, they were all settled in 1914 only through the Treaty of Simla. Okay, the Simla agreement basically. But now suddenly, after 100 years of the Treaty of Simla and 175 years something of the treaty or the Treaty of Sugauli, okay, the Nepali government wants to claim, or actually it is not even a claim, it is just an incitement of dispute or the tension between the two countries, and this is what the logic is. It's not Nepal's deeds, it is coming from the other side, that is from China. Okay, so now you understand the very first news, Rafale M needed. China is trying its best to disturb the social fabric as well as the stability of the country, right, India, and disturb its relationship with the other countries, that is Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan and so on. China is trying its best, right? So we have to prepare ourselves. We lost a good partner in the name of Bangladesh. We lost a good partner in the name of Nepal. We lost a good partner in the name of Myanmar as well, right? So though Myanmar is right now not a friend to anyone, because Myanmar is right now going ahead with some grave internal dispute, internal issues, military coup is going on, okay. So as of now we cannot add Myanmar, okay, but yes, India, Bangladesh, Nepal and yes, obviously Sri Lanka, right. Though relations, they are now getting restored, getting better as compared to the previous decade with Sri Lanka, but yes, once upon a time it was Sri Lanka which started opposing India as well because of the Chinese influence, right. So the areas what we have left now within the southern part of the Asia, okay, is literally nothing, okay, right. So here is importance, that is why the encroachment drive is also going on to identify the illegal migrants, okay, the insurgents, those who have occupied, not have, those who had actually occupied the land, near the border areas. Okay, and now it's important for us to identify the proper insurgents. They could be Chinese insurgents, they could be Pakistani insurgents, they could be Nepali insurgents as well, or many of them they could be also from the intelligence agencies of these particular countries, those who are now, you know, plotting against whom? Against us only, that is India, right? Okay. So here we go, the next news. POCSO cases can be quashed based on settlement in certain circumstances. This is what the Kochi, the Kerala High Court has stated. Okay. What is the statement? It is about the POCSO. What is that? Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. Right? The POCSO. What is the logic and what is the case? So, what Kerala High Court has stated, choice in some circumstances must be taken based on attendant facts and not nomenclature of the statutes. Okay, statute, says the High Court, okay, the Kerala High Court, okay, that even the POCSO cases can be settled. What's your opinion over this? I would like to hear your opinion. Not now, guys. You can tell me your opinion post class, okay, into the comment section, into the comment box. Well, do you second such actions? That is, yes, we can quash the cases related to POCSO, okay, in some certain circumstances. Do you second this opinion? Do you second or support this particular opinion of the Honorable Kerala High Court? Now, this brings us to the discussion of the word, the act of POCSO. Okay, how do we deal with the word or the act of POCSO? So yes, full form, simply Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. But what are the features that we need to mark? First of all, it came into the action on 14th of November 2012. Remember, guys, Nirbhaya case happened after this. Nirbhaya case happened exactly 32 days later from here on 16th of December 2012. Okay, many of the time people, they have got this misunderstanding that POCSO was the result of the Nirbhaya case. No, as you can see, POCSO came into being November 2012, 14th November 2012. Nirbhaya case happened only on 16th of December 2012. So you can see a gap of 30 days, 32 days precisely is there, right? So, which has enacted in consequences to India's ratification of United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Children 1992. Okay. So, there is the UN Convention that is considered as United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Children. It was signed by us in 1992. But it took 20 years for us to ratify it. It was only the year 1992 when Indian government enacted the POCSO, okay, POCSO Act, which is based on the lines of United Nations Conventions on the Rights as well as Protection of Children 1992. Okay, so remember, Nirbhaya case is another deadly event. Okay, POCSO is the outcome of the United Nations Convention on the Rights as well as Protection of Children 1992. Okay. Next, the law, it aims, okay, the aim of this special law is what? To address the offences of sexual exploitation and abuse of children, okay, which were either not specifically defined or inadequately penalized before the POCSO Act. Okay. Earlier it was just section 375 and 376 as well as 377. Okay, specifically starting from section 375, 76 and 377 of the erstwhile IPC, which was dealing with the cases of rape, right? Okay, but we needed a special law, a special penalty, special punishment for the offenders, those who have, committed such heinous and most immoral type of a crime, that too against our children, a child. Okay, that is below 18 years of age, right? So for this, POCSO came into being, and Act defines a child as any person aged below 18 years. Guys, remember, the contradiction could exist. According to Constitution of India, okay, according to the Indian Constitution. Specifically, when we refer Article 24, okay, specifically it is the Constitution, Article 24. Okay, when we refer this, right? So here the definition of child is a person who is less than 14 years. Okay, 14 and below is what the definition of child. Okay, but when it comes to POCSO, okay, when it comes to what? When it comes to POCSO, the child, the definition of child is any person who is 18 and below. Okay, so please don't get confused. As per Constitution, specifically under Article 24, which talks about prohibition of employment of children in hazardous industries. Okay, it is 14 years. But when it comes to POCSO, okay, POCSO has defined it as 18 years. Any person who is 18 or below. This is what exactly the POCSO is all about, right? So please mark this difference very carefully. Very, very important difference. Here we go. The next features of POCSO. The Act was further reviewed and amended in the year 2019. Okay, so 7 years later of its existence, okay, Act got amended. Okay, or we can say amendment came on the note of enhancement or upgradation. Okay, nothing was removed, but something was added. What is that? It introduced more stringent punishment, including the death penalty or the capital punishment, okay, for the offender, right? After the Nirbhaya case, remember one thing, guys, after the Nirbhaya case, in February 2013, okay, a committee was established by the government at that time. It was named as Justice Verma Committee. Okay, Justice Verma Committee. Okay, this was the name of the committee. What is that? Justice Verma Committee, which in its report stated death penalty can be given to rapist, okay, in rarest of rare case. Make no mistake. Anyways, rape is rarest of rare case always, right? And see, it's a very painful thing always to discuss such things. Around 8 months back, in India only, in our state of West Bengal, city of Calcutta, capital city of Calcutta, we had encountered or witnessed a deadly case. Specifically, we call it now as the Arjikar Medical Hospital rape case. Yes, you might be of the opinion that the investigation was tampered. Yes, that's true. Even I second that statement. One accused is there. I guess his name is Sanjay Roy, right? Yeah, Sanjay Roy. He has been taken into the custody and the Sessions Court of Calcutta has provided him a punishment, I guess 10 years or 14 years of imprisonment, for which the crime branch, okay, who has investigated the case, actually, has now moved and has provided a petition, has filed a petition to the respected Calcutta High Court, demanding death penalty for Sanjay Roy. See, that is justice. The punishment that, specifically considering the report and the recommendations of Justice Verma Committee of 2013, right? Arjikar, see, any rape, it is, first of all, it is rarest of rare, but some brutality, some heinousness, some barbaric activities what we have encountered into this particular case of Arjikar Medical Hospital. It was really needed. A death penalty to the persons like Sanjay Roy is needed, right? The one who is accused in that Arjikar Medical Hospital case, right? For which now CBI has taken a very strong, affirmative and a very, cognizant action, what we must quote here, that is demanding death penalty for Sanjay Roy. That is needed. This exemplary punishments, they are needed to let this so-called senile people from the brain understand that you cannot dodge the law. Okay, you play with the life and dignity of any individual. Okay, law won't spare you, right? So this is where the Justice Verma Committee report comes into the picture, rarest of rare case comes into the picture, and make no mistake, every crime of rape, every crime of it is rarest of rare. Think from the perspective of the victim, not from the perspective of the this particular features of the crime or the heinousness of the heinosity of the crime. No, think from the perspective of the victim only, right? This is what is needed, right? So we must appreciate here the actions of the Central Bureau of Investigation, right? Demanding death penalty for such a barbaric, pathetic personality, right? It is needed. Now, when we come back here to this POCSO, okay, 2019 amendment came in, and for the offenders, for the perpetrators, it says that yes, death penalty will be given. Okay, a very needed, demanded this type of an amendment. And yes, the government of India also notified the POCSO rules, okay, in the year 2020, considering the case that came from the so-called Asharam Bapu, so-called, right? What he has been taken into the custody for not the rape just, for the POCSO Act, right? Asharam, so-called Asharam Bapu, even, I don't know how people have given him such type of a name, that is Bapu, okay, right? So Asharam is right now inside the jail, okay, in the Jodhpur jail, okay, and right now he has been punished for what? For the POCSO Act. Remember, okay, the punishment, the trial or the conviction or even the judgment or the award given to Asharam, so-called Asharam, the self-styled, self-proclaimed godman, okay, it is through the POCSO Act, right? So how POCSO Act has been wonderful in providing justice to the children actually, okay, we can understand with the one reference of the Asharam case, right? So gender neutral nature and ease of reporting cases. This is what the very fresh amendment to the POCSO has mandated. What is that? The Act recognizes that both the girls and boys can be the victims of the sexual abuse. Okay, so it is what? Gender neutral. Okay, and apart from that, ease in reporting cases. So what they have been mentioning, there is a sufficient general awareness now to report cases of sexual exploitation of children, not only by individuals but also by institutions, as non-reporting has been made a specific offence under the POCSO Act. So if there is a particular incident which has not been reported as well, that shall be also considered as an offence under the POCSO Act. Yes, if you are aware that such kind of a heinous crime has happened against a child, then do report, or else it is an offence under the POCSO Act of 2012, amendment rules of 2019, right? So this is where, okay, the justice comes into the picture. And yes, one more thing, explicit definition of terms. What are the explicit definition of terms here? As we can see, the storage of child pornographic material, firstly, okay, and any such thing is also a particular violence of law or simply an offence through the POCSO Act. Neither neither an individual needs to promote, share or store any such particular file that is related to the child pornography. Even storing, watching, sharing, etc. of a child pornography is an offense under the POCSO amendment rules of 2019. Right? Okay. So here it is, one of the important segments, okay, that is POCSO. I hope everything is clear. So here we go to the next news, to the next headline, that is Supreme Court asks Center if it was working for the welfare of the road victims. Okay. As per the National Crime Records Bureau, since we have started this class, nearly 3 accidents and 1 accidental death has happened in our country. Every hour, on an average, 2 to 3 accidents and 1 accidental deaths are recorded in our country, right? Every hour, right? So here, one thing that you need to mark from this whole news, okay? What is that? Simply the golden hour, right? From the whole news, okay, don't worry about the whole news. We know how much trouble we have with regard to traffic, okay, congestion, jam, right? And apart from that, accidents. But here is a phrase that has been mentioned by the Hindu, that is golden hour. What is golden hour? So golden hour is the 60 minutes following a traumatic injury when there is the highest likelihood of preventing death by providing prompt medical care. Okay, that is simply speaking, the very first hour of an accident. Okay, remember the term golden hour. The very first hour of an accident, okay, which has provided grave injuries to the victims. Okay, and that first hour of medical treatment, it is known as what? The golden hour, in which the life of the victim can be saved if it has been provided, the victim has been provided with adequate medical treatment within the first hour of the accident. Okay, so remember, what is that? Golden hour. Okay, the first 60 minutes of an accident which has provided grave injuries to the victims. Okay, and that very first 60 minutes, okay, when they receive the medical treatment, okay, that particular 60 minutes, it is termed as what? The golden hour. Okay, that's it. So this is what you need to encounter from this whole news. Okay, nothing much further to be discussed in this. Now, tourism as a weapon against terrorism. Okay. The people of Kashmir, we need to appreciate them. Firstly, I would like to quote here, Kashmir belongs to me, that is India. It is my territory, right? If anyone has problem with this, then you can go to United Nations. But Kashmir belongs to Kashmiris. Kashmiris belongs to India, and so Kashmir belongs to India. India is for Kashmir and Kashmir is for India. If any person from within the country or outside the country has got a problem with this, then they need to read the Instrument of Accession signed in 1947 by the then Indian government, as well as the Maharaja of Kashmir, Raja or Maharaja Hari Singh, right? Article 370 was part of the Indian Constitution, now which has been repealed. And now Kashmir, along with Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, is the union territory of India. It is an integral part of my country. It is my crown, right? That's it. After the Pahalgam attack, after 27 people lost their lives in the cowardly terrorist attacks, now it's time for the people of Kashmir to unite. Their assembly has condemned this. The people, they have condemned this, and now they are providing free rides, free meals, that is free food, everything to the present tourists in Kashmir. And this is a big tight slap to the so-called Pakistani terrorists and to the whole country of Pakistan, right? This is a big tight slap. we don't even, need our army to provide slap to these idiot Pakistanis. Okay, our Indian people from Kashmir, they are brave enough to provide such type of a befitting reply, right? So here, what we must appreciate and applause and salute to the people of Kashmir here, right? They are not focusing on the livelihood. They're not focusing on the loss they might incur because of providing such free things. Okay, but yes, they are focusing on now providing a message to the whole of Kashmir as well as to the whole of India. That is, Kashmiris, they do stand against terrorism and they want the peace and tranquility to be established inside the valley, inside their homeland, right? So as we can see, what the new tourism as what is a weapon against terrorism. Okay, so now tourism is what? A weapon against terrorism. So far we have got the trade protectionism right now, right? So far we had got what? The trade protectionism. But right now we have got the tourism protectionism as well, right everyone? So this is where the people of Kashmir, they are to be appreciated. And now we come to the next news for us. Russia declares a 3-day truce in Ukraine for next week between 8th to 10th May. That will be the marking event of the World War II, in which the Russian army, okay, got victorious over the Nazi army, that is Germany. Okay, so from 8th to 10th May, that is 8th, 9th and 10th May, those 3 days, there will be no shelling, no bombarding, no missiles, nothing into the Russia-Ukraine war. 3 days of proper truce will be celebrated between both the countries who are at war since last 3+ years. Okay, so remember guys, 8th to 10th May, what it does mark? It does mark the victory of Moscow over Nazi Germany, right? So in order to commemorate the event of victory, Vladimir Putin government of Russia has decided to put a halt, a truce of war for 3 days only, right? So guys, remember, this is what the things that we need to discuss today. Okay everyone, so that's it from my side today in this the Hindu analysis. And please remember, you need to figure out one thing, that is what? You need to subscribe to our StudyIQ IS English channel. Okay, as you know it very well, okay, the channel is providing you morning 9 a.m. to night 10 p.m. of the continuous classes, right? So guys, please never miss an update from the channel. So you need to subscribe it first of all, and apart from that, yes, if in case you need to connect with me and share your doubts or problems related to your academics, that is UPSC CSE preparation, so we have got 2 platforms to connect, Instagram and Telegram. Okay, Instagram, you can search me with the username Praveen Mishra _2107. And Telegram, you can search my channel name, that is study_with_Praveen. Okay everyone, so wherever you wish to connect, just ping me on and let me know how can I help you. And yes, please do not forget to subscribe to our StudyIQ IS English channel. Okay everyone, so thank you so much. See you all soon in the very next session. Bye bye, good day, take care, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.